The name of the show is The Way to Go. My name is Alan Bendich. I'm going to be your host. And tonight we have two co-hosts of the Grindhouse Radio on iHeartRadio, Miss Kim Adragna and Brimstone.
Oh, finally. The Grindhouse Radio is here with Alan.
Here.
Oh, the way to go, brother.
Okay.
We're here. I'm a little upset, though, I gotta say.
Why are you upset?
Because it's been 200 and something episodes,
Right.
and it's taken you this long to get us on.
Well, I was trying to, but JT
building
was a
up.
little under the weather, but now he's
Strong like bull.
and that's why he said, I got the greatest guests for your show. And it's been nice talking with you before.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We loved hearing your history and everything you've done.
Right.
Yeah.
Cagney Lacey is iconic.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. But it was really great to hear about your history as well. And I can't wait to share that with our audience.
Oh, hopefully they'll
Yeah.
find it interesting. We'll see.
So it started many years ago, right?
Many years ago in a land far, far away. What do you call it? I started in the industry at age 5. My mother was trying to get me in real quick, real early. She passed away a couple of years ago.
sorry to hear
So
that.
this one's out to you, Mom, up there. What do you call it? I started on Sesame Street in Romper Room as a child actor. Then as I got older, I fell in love with art, music, the whole 9 yards. I wound up going on tour as a musician for many years, got sick of being in a 5-way marriage, got into professional wrestling, really gained the Brimstone name. I've been Brimstone over 20 years now. So the Brimstone name came from my professional wrestling career. When it was time to kind of, move along from professional wrestling, I wanted to come up with something that would be brandable and continue my, legacy and move along with the brand.
Right.
So I came up with the idea of doing a comic book. So Brimstone and the Border Hounds was born. From there I created a company called Hound Comics Inc., Hound Entertainment Group, where I had so many amazing talents. A good friend of mine, Peter Mayhew, Chewbacca from Star Wars.
Oh, wow.
I had his books with us. I had friends from Nickelodeon, from Disney, a lot of other artists from all around the country, who worked with us. And from there, we wound up meeting Kimberlina Bombolino over here. And
He did the name.
one of our other partners, Steve Zambito, who's one of our other hosts. And they wound up becoming my interns for Hound Comics Inc. And now, 5 years later, they're my partners. And, I couldn't think of the world in any other way now without these guys by my side. We're equals, we're doing such amazing things together.
Yeah.
So what amazing things are you doing together?
Well, we go out, we go to the bar. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, we travel, we do different conventions, Comic-Con conventions. They want us to come in and we sign with them. We're doing a bunch of voiceover work. We're doing commercials, character work. But, like Brim said, when we first started out, we started out one microphone, no soundproofing, nothing. And then, now we have our own studio. Wow. And, it grew, nothing happens just like that.
So how often do you have do you go in front of the microphone?
Well, all right. So our corporate offices are open, all the time. So 7 days a week. We have our employees, the whole 9 yards. We do the Grindhouse Radio show, which is a 2-hour podcast, essentially, once a week. All right. It comes out every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, iHeartRadio, but we're also syndicated on over 25 other networks, so you can find us anywhere. That's awesome. Spotify, Google, iTunes, and a zillion others.
Yeah.
If Steve's not here, he would be the one to sit and rattle them all off.
Yeah, basically wherever you listen to podcasts, that's basically where we're on.
Yeah.
So.
Then we do spin-off shows like Kim and Tom do the Magic Kim Tom, which is a Disney Pixar, type of a show.
I love it.
Yes, she's a
love
very
my
big Disney fan.
Yes.
And so am I. I'm not gonna lie about it. And then I do a spin-off show, and Steve is my co-host on that. And we do Within Brim's Skin, which is kind of like a rant show for me. We have a lot of fun. We also rent the studio out to a ton of different podcasters who are amazing shows. And, we try to give a start, an opportunity to people who didn't have that opportunity before. Broadcasting in general, entertainment in general, is so difficult to get a break. You know what I mean? So we've kind of made it our mission to, reach out, do community service with it, and try to get more people involved in the quote-unquote podcasting community. We do podcast 101s at libraries, schools, universities, businesses. So anybody out there that's interested, they could always bring us in. We could tell you all the ropes of how to, why, and so forth.
Do you have engineers that work on the...
Yeah.
So,
Steve on our show and Tom on the show, they do that. And they edit and all that.
And we also have Alex DePonte, who does, engineer as well.
Yep.
So, see, I don't know anything about podcasts, but how do you get it becomes a file, and then how does it work? Is it,
You'd be better to answer that than me.
It's like an MP3 file, or a WAV file, like that's how we record it through. And then it goes out through our RSS feed, and then, it's broadcasted elsewhere.
And you could hear it at a later date? Is it something that you could go back and listen to?
That's the beauty of podcasting. So like what Brim said with broadcasting, usually with broadcasting, I love broadcasting. That's how I started. I started, at Farmingdale State College. I started the radio station there. Didn't think that eventually I'd intern with him, and then now this is where we are. Right. I didn't think we would have opportunities where we are now, but that's the beauty of podcasting. So with broadcasting, it's only at specific times and time frames. For podcasting, could be at any time, any hour, and you really don't have to have a broadcasting background. So it could be from anyone. Anyone can basically start it.
You brought some clips of some of the people or some of the people from Grindhouse, right?
Oh yeah, the Grindhouse Radio. Yeah, we have our cast and crew. We have about 7 people on cast right now. What do you call it? The way we do it is we kind of break it up. We have 15-minute segments, 6 of them, and then in between each one of those, there's a 3-minute mini segment, as well as our commercial breaks.
So we have some actual photos as
well. Yeah, you can pop some photos up.
Pop some photos.
Yeah. You want to pop some up? I'll tell you who they are.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I don't know.
Who's this guy?
This guy. I think he's new. I think he's new on the show. Ah, there we go.
Wow,
so that's Steve all the way to the
Who's
right.
That girl in the middle?
I don't know.
She's a cutie patootie.
Cool,
that's a nice picture.
She looks like she's a little
very
arm.
nice photo.
That's the cast. What do you call it? Adesina, who's in the front, and Scott, all the way to the right, have just recently left the show. Adesina is coming back, but we do have Amy, who just came on with us a few months back, who is amazing. She does Leading Ladies segment.
Yeah. Kevin over there, he does some in the back, in the blue shirt. He does some comic books.
Yeah, he does the comic book segment. Tom, who's in the plaid in the front, he is our 4th official co-host, and he does the sports segments on the show.
Looks like you have a nice crew. I mean, they seem like nice. They have a nice vibe coming out.
Guy is the other long-haired dude. What do you call it? He does the all-music spotlight. Right. He is another person who's been in entertainment his whole life. He was in Ludachrist and Scatterbrain, 2 major bands from back when, and he does the music segment on the show. So
that's a lot of fun. Awesome. So So that's really what most of your focus is currently?
There's the Grindhouse Radio,
right,
and Grindhouse Radio Inc.
Right.
And then there's Brimstone and Brimstone Business and so forth and everything I do, and Kim Adragna and her business and everything she does, things that we cross over with. So there are a lot of moving components to what we do.
What else would you like to talk about?
Yeah, look, the Brimstone shtick, I've been doing Brimstone for, like I said, over 20 years. But I do a lot with voiceover. I do a lot with charities. I'm the celebrity spokesperson for the Stan Lee Foundation.
Oh, really?
So if you're familiar with who Stan Lee was,
absolutely. Who isn't?
He was a friend, and
So you knew him?
Yes, he was an amazing guy.
He was
he was a scholar and a gentleman, or a gentleman and a scholar, whichever way you want to say it.
Iconic. There's no question.
He started a franchise.
What's crazy is that being in the industry for as long as I've been, how many iconic people that I've become friends with that I watched as I grew up, and it just blows your mind because I don't think about it when it's I look back and I go, holy crap! What? Yeah. How did this happen?
I know exactly what you're saying. I know.
And again, these are my friends, and I sometimes told them, I said, I might have played it cool every once in a while, but at the end of the day, you know who you are. I'm just kidding. I never do that. But everybody, but people don't realize is we're all humans, and nobody's better than anybody else. And, I've admired people and I respect their work. I'm not a fanboy. Right. You know what I mean?
Well,
and
I'm a fan. I have to tell you. I met Paul Rubens. I worked with. I worked with Jeff Bridges. Mm-hmm. Bo Bridges came up to me and said, "Hi, I'm Bo." I said, "I know who you are." So it's like, I am. I mean, it took a lot for me not to. Thank God in the '80s when I met these people. Yeah. There wasn't this kind of phone where you could just take a picture. I mean, I would be. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you not be a fanboy? That's the question.
Again, I've been around so long, and I've seen it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I've seen it, and.
Well, I think it is like people sense it.
Yeah.
Like you're a normal human being. It's just when they look at you, they're thinking of the character. Right. They're not thinking you as the person.
Oh, yeah.
So when they're looking at you, they're thinking, "Oh my God, you're this person from Harry Potter." Right. They're not thinking you're the person. So it's like when you're the actual person who they're like freaking out over, it's like, all right. It's all good. I love that you're loving this, but it's okay. Let's have a conversation.
Yeah, the best relationships I had with these, big wigs, whatever, were the ones when I was able just not to be the fanboy and just talk.
And that's what it is.
That's what it's all about. Because they're human beings. It's hard to believe. You see them at the supermarket. It's like same thing.
I've done so much in my career.
Right.
I've done that. I get people asking me, how did you do this? Right. How do you do that?
It is pretty amazing.
That's why I started Hound Comics, is because I started the comic book, and I flipped it into the kids' book.
You want to show some of the pictures of your comic books?
Yeah, sure. You want to throw some comic book pictures up there?
Yeah, let's throw some comic books. Yeah. Oh, look at that.
That's one of the spin-offs. That was Critical Mass. What do you call it? That's one of the issues. Yeah, I look much better in a comic book form, I got to tell you. That's the first issue, which actually launched in, Barnes & Noble. I'm sorry, in Borders Books. And then we flipped it over into Barnes & Noble worldwide. And we were the only independently owned and operated comic company in every single one of the Barnes & Nobles. So cool. Actually, in that character right there, the architect was based on Peter Mayhew, Chewbacca. So he plays my father.
He recently died, right?
Yeah, he recently passed.
It's sad.
I cried I wept like a baby. Basically what I did is I took my character from the wrestling career and I flipped it into what it would potentially be if it were real life, and we made it into a comic book. Because myself, one of my old friends, Marcello Carnevale, we did that. We had the animated series all put together, the comics, the video games, and all that jazz. And it's a really cool thing.
So tell me about the video games. You brought it up. It's you're both voiceover artists, right?
Well, Kim actually, her first VO work was on the Brimstone video game. She voiced all the female characters. Yeah. So
good
what do you call it? It was good practice.
Yo,
it was
such
good
memories.
Practice. And what do you call it?
How long ago was that?
Oh man, probably about
4 years ago.
4 years?
4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, it's a while back.
Around when we first started the show.
Yeah. Because we had the mics, we had the studio stuff. We're like, all right, well, I need the voice work for this. And Kim, you're a female, it's time to work. So I put her to work.
Once you have the studio and for voiceovers, I mean, I've done that as an actor.
Oh yeah.
And my buddy, the same guy I was talking about, the guy who I did commercials with, he has like a booth where he does a lot of the voiceovers in his house.
Oh yeah.
For Nat Geo, you know what I mean?
It's crazy.
You can do it anywhere.
Well, we're blessed. I mean, we're endorsed by a lot of companies. Bayer Dynamic endorses us. They're some of the best microphones you can get. Awesome. What do you call it? Technosport chairs. You know what I mean? Like we, oh my God, Saltability. We have beautiful, salts, Himalayan rock salt stuff in there. I mean, who else? We have so many different things that we're dealing with right now. But what do you call it? Mane and Tail, Kikoman. We deal with a lot of really cool companies.
Do you want? I know we've been showing a lot of stuff, but would you like to show some of this, the voiceover?
Well, let's do Kim's clip, because she actually just launched. She didn't launch. A company just launched. What is it? Friendlians. Talk about Friendlians.
So basically, one of my friends, he had something that he was doing for a while, and he was a Disney artist actually, so he could do a bunch of Disney stuff. Right. And he said, I am making a show right now that has to do with teaching kids family values and beliefs, like discipline and whatnot. And he said, I'm looking for a girl character. And I said, well, I'll do it. I got you. I'll do it. So then he said, well, I kind of want you to make it your own. And I said, okay. So I came up with the name Harmony. I came up with, he kind of wanted the concept and whatnot. And so we worked around it together. And, I loved it. It was fun. So, yeah.
Okay, so which one? So that's
Yeah,
friendly.
This
let's
is
put
Friendly
friendly
Ends,
inside.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you could flip friendly ends in it,
Yeah.
we could share it with the audience.
Calling all Earthlings! Come in, Earthlings! Calling all Earthlings! Come in, Earthlings! Hello, Earthlings! We come in peace. My name is Harmony, and I'm a little nervous. The Chief Friendly told me I need to make contact with you, and I'm new at speaking in front of...
That's so cool, and
Yeah.
it's like a good message for kids. And,
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I first started doing radio, and this was way back in college, I wanted to inspire people.
Right.
And the fact that all of us at the Grindhouse have a good dynamic, and now that we're where we are now, and we have the platform that we have, that's all I want to do. I want to inspire people. I want to, if people want to do what we do, I want them to try doing it. Just start. That's the whole point.
it
Start.
was funny because I was a little nervous about having you on the show because I saw your face. I was like, ah! I was like, oh no.
This guy.
Yeah, but it looks like you're kind of like a teddy bear kind of guy.
Ah,
I was nervous about really when I saw that. I said,
Really?
I said,
Nah.
well, I had no. This is the first
Was
time
it
we
his
met.
This is true.
demeanor? Was it like, oh, this big wrestling
Well,
guy?
I saw the face.
Yeah, well,
the
you got
headshot.
yeah.
Oh, and the finger
I
point?
got you, the finger point,
That's
the
good.
patented point. You know
Thing,
what I
oh
mean?
my God!
Don't let the skull rings fool you. I'm a nice guy. Yeah, what do you call it? So, the what do you call it? Back to the voice stuff.
Right.
It's the best.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We act too. We've got films coming out. We're doing a web series called Seymour, the Unfortunate Vampire, which we both got cast in together, which is
Yeah.
amazing.
And it's voice.
No, that one's acting.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we're doing a lot of acting also. I have Preacher 6, which is coming out, which is an amazing film. Mott Haven, which I did with Robert Davi. I did a cameo for that.
I really like.
Robert's a great guy. He's a good
Robert's
friend.
great.
Great
What do you call it? But voice acting is kind of like acting on speed. You know what I mean? Because you have to portray everything that you want with your voice. Right. So everything with the, how to emphasize and, just everything is just, that much more exciting when you're doing it.
Well, it's breaking it down.
Yeah.
Like when you get the actual character, when you get the script, and you say the script, you have to give different voice inflections for each different word too, which people don't realize. They just go through the whole line and they don't go that you saying this is, or this is that. Like it changes the whole name and nature of the actual character.
Now, when you do the voiceover, are you looking at a character talking, or does the artwork come before the voiceover, or does the voiceover come before
Depends.
the
Depends on what you're working
Yeah.
on. One of the things that I did recently, a couple of things I did for Elle Cartoons, which is huge on YouTube. I just played Santa Claus for her,
that's cute.
which was a lot of fun. She goes, "Brim, would you do Santa?" I'm like, "I will definitely do Santa for you." 1 million downloads later, 1 million views later, you go,
Yeah.
"I'm glad I did Santa Claus." No, and then I did for the Weaklings, which is a great series, a great animated series, again on YouTube.
Right.
They had this character that they utilized earlier in the show,
Right.
but they kind of just let it fall by the wayside. And when we started talking, Jabril, who's the guy who created the show, he goes, "You'd be great for game day." He goes, "I want to see what you do." But he didn't send me the what do you call it, the character sketches, yes, but not the actual cartoon. So I voiced it, and then he placed the animation to my voice. Right. We actually have a clip of that if you want to see it.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Brimstone is game day. Check that out.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. What if I pull out some of my wrestling moves on the bus? Woo! Hit it with the power bomb. Woo! Or hit it with a clothesline or the jackhammer. Woo! Woo!
You really think you could take on a bus?
That was very entertaining.
That's funny, and that was
great
very
voice.
different.
Thank
Great
you.
voice.
When you do voiceover, it's very different. They'll give you a picture, or they'll give you a breakdown of everything, and then sometimes it's up to you to give them 2 or 3 different voices and let them pick and choose.
It was great.
You know?
It was fantastic.
So we have fun. We do a lot. We've done a lot of video games, and there's a lot of things that are NDA'd that we can't talk about. But there's. It's a lot of fun, and we have the studio, so it's always about the next natural progression. So if you're doing broadcasting, well, what else can you do with your voice? You can do voiceover work. You could do commercial work. You can do what do you call it? Books, audiobooks.
But definitely commercial work, I could see. I mean,
We do a lot.
It's why not?
We do.
I mean, well, the thing is, like, if someone's interested in getting into it, there's so many websites where they could start doing that. All you need is a computer, something to edit with, and a decent microphone, and people could start their own career that way. So it's not,
Yeah, but you're talking about competition now. I just get it.
Listen, here's the thing: is so many people out there want to consider other, people that do something similar or in the same genre competition. I don't consider anybody our competition. We are our own entity. The Grindhouse Radio is unique. What do you call it? We have our own thing going. And I mean, we're doing something right. We're doing between 3.5 to 4 million listeners weekly worldwide.
Well, you have so much strength in your voice, and you have so much energy. It's great to see that. Because a lot of times, I have a regular gig where I work, so I usually do this stuff at night, and if I'm lucky, I could film every now and then on the weekends. Yeah. But it's so good to see energetic young people,
I wish I was young. I'm 45. I'm old.
Believe me, when you're 64, 45 sounds awfully young.
Well, the same thing. 25 seems awfully young right now.
Right, but you have the energy, and it's now or never. The other thing is that there's no tomorrow. I mean, you have to. That's how I look at it. And the best times in my life are when I'm doing this show, or if I'm acting, or meeting new people in the business. So that's where I get my energy from.
I think it's important for people to recognize and realize, like, for instance, like Morgan Freeman, he was 45 when he first started. So, and people don't realize years before that he was working on his craft. But at 35, he wasn't noticed, but at 45, he was. And it doesn't matter what age. Just start and do it and have fun with it. That's
I just look at it as fun. I'm not even looking for any kind of mass recognition, but it is nice to get a commercial every now and then. So what else you got in that bag of tricks that you have?
Well, one of the cool things, again, I see being an old dog, you know what I mean, in the game, the coolest thing for me is watching, Kim and Steve and Tom, one, come into their own. I've seen them grow over the last 5 years. It's an amazing thing, and to watch things that are old to me that are now new to them, and see them experience it for the first time and say, that's awesome.
Paying it forward.
But these are my
or
closest.
Vice versa. Some things that I know that he he doesn't know about. Right. You are learning, Brim.
I'm learning.
But it's one thing. I'm fortunate where I work now, even though I'm in a team. And sometimes when I do my scriptless show, that's a team. We try to lift everyone up,
Well, you gotta.
And that's the way to go.
That's the whole point.
That's the way to go.
A leader is only as strong as the people that are next to them, and they should be next to them, never behind them.
Well said, and that is the truth.
You have to lift people up. You know what I mean? And our whole team is fantastic, energetic. They work hard. We have a small unit, but you're still talking about, like, we're playing with a major product.
And it becomes like a family too. I mean, it becomes like a love thing. You really care about the. When you're working with
Oh my
and
God,
that to me is
on TV.
That's also the magic of acting, because if you have the right people together in a group,
it makes a difference.
It's all about chemistry.
That's it.
If you have good chemistry, it works.
I know.
When you have a cast that has that chemistry, that little spark. Man, there's nothing you can't do. So we're expanding. We're going to be doing a television series. We had started one a while back. It just kind of simmered a little bit. We will pick that up eventually, but we're going to be doing another one with another company, so people can keep their eyes out for that. That's going to be a lot of fun.
And it's going to always say Grindhouse. Is that?
It'll be Grindhouse related.
It'll be Grindhouse related. But like it
productions
is,
or something like that.
Maybe.
Who knows? Whatever.
We're names in the works. We'll have to see. But it is important, depending on who you pick, to join with you. Whether it is TV, radio, whether it's acting or voiceover work, it has to be on the same mission. You have to be on the same mission, and you have to mesh and gel with everyone. Because you're working with them.
Are you looking to expand? Do you think you've got all the components you need at this point?
We will. It takes time. Here's the thing: is you want to get everything done. You want to do it now. You want to do it now, but it takes time. It's not a race. It's a marathon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely.
And the fact is the best things come to those who wait. So we've done it. We've done it all. We've won the SCORE, small business championships.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Nationwide, which was a huge thing for a small business. We won best radio station on Long Island 4 years in a row,
That's
consecutive.
awesome. Congratulations.
We're a 2-hour show once a week, and we beat all the AM, FM channels.
Well, you have such a good. You do have the chemistry even sitting here.
Oh, thank you.
the energy that.
high five.
No, and
There you go, girl.
And also, it's the energy.
Yeah.
It's a positive energy that you give.
We appreciate
Yeah.
that, and we try to put that out there. But there, all these things that if you can't just run out and do this, it doesn't happen overnight. You know what I mean? It takes time and and effort. Kim just won. She was a recipient of 30 under 30.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Which
that is awesome.
I appreciate it.
so
Thank you.
we
wonderful.
work hard.
And how many listeners do you have on your podcast?
3.5 to 4 million. Yeah.
What is that like?
It's amazing.
It's cool because, like we said, we're national and we're also international. We have people where it's from California or Texas. We've had people who messaged in from Ireland and France, and they said, I play you in my little shop and people love it. So it's...
So what is it like?
We
when
just
you-
had one from Vietnam. Sorry to
no,
interrupt.
it's okay.
Yeah.
We had one that came in Vietnamese.
Yes.
And they found us from Sorum, which is a video game app that we're on Android. If you have an Android, you can download Sorum.
Yeah.
You could play as Kim, myself, Tom, Steve. So it's a really cool. Actually, we have a clip of that. If you guys want to see what that's all about.
Yeah, let's do a quick clip.
It's called Sorum, Sorim. You can download it on the
If you
Android
could do it
store.
real quick there. That is so awesome.
So you get to play with us and dress us and have us dance and it's a lot of fun and play
It
different
is.
games. It's a really cool thing. But so so that we got people that are listening to us now.
Oh yeah, I got one quick question.
Oh yeah, sure.
When have you gone at Comic-Con and all these other places that you go?
Yeah.
Do people come up to you and say, know you from?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that must be so awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
It's fun.
I'm sorry, I didn't. I interrupted you.
Oh, no, I interrupted you first. And it's your show. It's your show, shame on me.
No.
Shame on you,
Look what
Brim.
you
No, but
did, Brim.
what is that like when people come up to you and they heard
It's
you
humbling.
500 miles, 1,000 miles away?
It's amazing. It is. It's a truly amazing
humbling.
feeling. No matter how long you're in the industry,
Right.
it's always a beautiful thing
Right.
to be recognized and for people to show love.
And you know what? I love that
and
you were on the show.
positivity.
But there's only one thing left to say.
Oh no!
Man.
That's a wrap. Good night, folks.
Oh.